Gamers around the flat universe. My name is KK and today we have a freaking hot video because today we are playing on the most difficult maps in BTD Battles 2, which are Glade, Quarry, Basalt, and I might include the Gardens, but maybe in the next part. Anyhow, these maps are short, these maps are difficult, and on these maps people struggle a lot. And the thing is, if you are good, these are your freaking favorite maps. Why is that? Because you are farming on these maps. When I pushed to BFB Coliseum, I really enjoy these maps because I crush my opponents on them. And today I'm gonna show you how do I do this, and you will be able to do it for yourself as well. So the loadout is extremely powerful, the one that I'm using right now, and I highly recommend you to play it against every strategy on these maps. Boomerang, tag shooter, and submarine. It's almost flawless, almost. But it has good response to almost every rush. Anyhow, let's begin. So as you can see, I'm playing with the 102 tag shooter, so I start with Oben, and Oben is in the back. Why do you prefer Oben over every other hero? And no skin Oben, so regular Oben. Because Oben, first he has Brambles. Brambles kill the balloons. When you play on Glade, you place Oben in the back, and he spawns the Brambles and stuff, and it will help you to prevent some leaks, as well as being like the safety net for you. Next, he has the Wall of Trees, which is amazing to kill DDTs. So even if you feel like you are struggling against DDTs, the Wall of Trees will be able to save your life numerous times. So this ability alone is enough to choose Oben for your main hero for these maps. Now, next thing is, of course, the important part. I sold my tech shooter so that I can spend more money on eco after I bought the Glade Ricochet. So it's like big brain. Now, as you can see in my eco, you have to eco, and you have to eco quite well in order to play on these maps. You cannot just do dumb shit. You need to optimize a bit. So as you can see, I have a 750 eco, and after this I started to send the blue balloons. Why is that? Because they are most cost efficient at this stage, and I need to save up some money. I don't upgrade reactor immediately. And here I bait my opponent, so I wait for him to rush, and okay, nah, it's like kinda mid because I waited a bit, then I did, but ideally you wanna bait your opponent, wait for them to rush, and only then upgrade the reactor. If need be, you boost. But you will see very smart rush from me right now. So on round 14 we have the rainbows, and everyone expects you to rush on round 14, but look at this. I layered 3 types of balloons, so LEDs, zebras, and the rainbows. Okay, he rushed me with region rainbows, and Boomerang with the reactor easily counters it. Just boost and you chill. Now look at this. So I will layer one more time. This is very advanced technique, learn it and you will crush your opponents. So I'm layering LEDs, I'm layering zebras and ceramics on top instead of the purples, and I smash my opponent like easy. This is the power of like smart rushes and decent eco. So I have had 1000 eco. I send the blue balloons in order to save some cash, and I use this cash first either to defend, second to maybe actually rush my opponents. Now Basalt, the map that almost every player in this game hates with their guts. And it's understandable because the map is difficult, but we figured out the strategies for this map and it's getting pretty darn fun. One of the funniest maps in the game. So the way you do this is you go for the same strategy. So tag, boomer, sub. You begin with the tag shooter. For this map, I recommend you getting 102 tech shooter into 103 tech shooter, and don't upgrade the 203 until later because you want to spend as much money on your eco as possible. I do not recommend you trying to actually prevent leaks and to try to not get first blooded because it's waste of your money. What I recommend you to do is start with the hero into the tech shooter because you can afford it with this strategy, because tech shooter is cheap and you will be able oftentimes to afford this. So as you can see, my opponent is boosting, and I want to explain you the reason why the fuck he placed the tech shooter in the bottom path, and this is Moab Pit, by the way, already. He placed this thing because he wanted to anti-stall, but now with his submarine he completely negates the whole purpose of his anti-stall. Anti-stall, no, not the anti-stall, just regular stall. So he wanted to make the rounds drag for longer so that he can get more eco advantage. Of course, I will get eco advantage as well if I send eco, but my opponent made the grave mistake against me. He underestimated my defending capability. So when you see that your opponent is trying to space eco rush you, it means that they are preparing to rush you in the near future, because the best way is to do like the rushes like I did, and then you go into grouped blues, because as I already mentioned, these are the best. If your opponent rushes you with like something aggressive or a lot of pings in this case, as you can see, this is just one of variations how you can defend. I decided to go for one more tech sprayer with 102 tech shooter at the bottom, but you gotta afford the reactor 420 by round 11. Now see in what happens. He will rush me soon, I know this, because he has the garbage eco and he cannot afford to just stand by. His whole purpose of this game is to rush me and kill me in the one big rush. It is the same as the player with farms. They barely eco, but they have a lot of let's say plans to kill us. How do we counter them? Easy. We just defend all they send at us and then rush them. Now, you gotta be prepared, so you cannot waste your money. I sent the lowest tier of balloons, so it's the grouped greens, because I have no access to other ones, the cheapest one. Now, he rushed me with the ceramics. Ceramics easily out DPS the reactor. You counter them with Maelstrom, and as soon as you activate your Maelstrom, you immediately prepare to place one more Maelstrom and you get ready to activate the ability. You must be prepared, you must get this thing into your muscle memory and never forget about this. Now, this is gonna be a funny one because he will all out me and he will all out me hard, so it's very good demonstration of what this strategy is capable of. Also, I don't have the turbocharge in this game yet, so yeah. Now, as you can see, I have Tech Shooter. Tech Shooter is responsible for killing Moabs. He is not sending me Shy, so it means that he will be sending Moab. The Overdrive pops the Moab player, while the Maelstrom pops the cerams. When he rushed me with more cerams, I upgraded my more glaives, because more glaives is amazing against the group ceramics. You need to be quick with your micro and you win easily. Poof. I just rushed him with one Moab and he couldn't even defend because this player is kinda bad and he relies solely on trying to aggressively outplay the opponents. Not gonna work against anybody. Now, the Quarry. Quarry is also one of the most hated maps in the community, but community is full of noobs because Quarry is amazing map. I love it too. It's like one of the best maps in the game. Now, how do you play Quarry? Tech Shooter. Tech Shooter is your boy, it's the answer. Because, as you can see, I have the Tech Shooter in the beginning. Of course, I got first blooded. He got the boomerang, but his strategy is objectively weaker than mine in terms of real life application. So maybe he has like more popping potential because the opponent is using boomerang village super. That's from what I remember. We'll see for sure very soon. You don't care about first blood. Like, I'm that honest. If you are playing on the decent arenas, like at this stage of the game, Moab Pit has a lot of decent players. So if you play Moab Pit or higher, maybe Ceramic Crucible, because slowly there will be more good opponents, so Ceramic Crucible skill level will also rise. But if you are playing the higher arenas, you are not looking for like playing perfect. You are looking to do all the necessary things right. As you can see, my opponent rushed me with the spaced balloons. Why? Because he wants to save money. It's bullshit in terms of economy. You never want to do this. And here I'm testing his defenses. Will the boomerang defend on this map? Turns out this is like one of the best boomerang spots that he has, but his spot will not work for our strategy, just because in our strategy we use one of the best towers in the game, Submarine. And I intentionally placed my boomerang in this spot because I want the Submarine to decamo, and I will eventually upgrade to Reactor, and the boomerang kinda catches the balloons that were just damaged by the reactor, therefore it doesn't allow the balloons to go through. This is very smart synergy between towers. Tech Shooter falls off a bit, but what you also gotta be prepared for is you have to be prepared to do the Maelstrom micro. How do you do this? Like, it's your staple. In every tech shooter strategy, what new players don't understand and realize is you have to be able to Maelstrom micro. If you get overwhelmed, you have the Submarine, so it will decamo everything. Boomerang hits the LEDs, so you will not be struck by camo LEDs. And now you are able to shred everything. Reactor is not omnipotent. It's good, but it has weaknesses. It has them for sure. Now, my opponent placed the one boomerang, Super Monkey, and Camo Village, and this was his grave mistake. As you can see, on Quarry I did only 700 eco, and then I started to do the group blues, because this map is short and you cannot get more than 700 realistically, so I don't recommend go higher than that. And now I see that his defense is fucking weak. And yeah, he started to invest into the Super Monkey instead of more boomerangs, so I decided, fuck that, let me rush you. I layered the LEDs, zebras, and the purples, and the guy is dead in the water. There you go. This is how you play the hardest maps in this game. If this video does well, I will do part 2, where I also review the garden map and a few more different strategies and how to counter them. Okay guys, press like or dislike button right now, depending on what you think about this video. Subscribe now, share this video with your friends, because it's freaking useful. And let's do this. See you in the next one.